Dustin Poirier versus Saint Denis is finally official. Before it was official, but not really because contracts weren't signed and agreements were made, managers weren't talked to.
So what's the deal with that? Like, I don't understand how that works. You know what's going on with that?
What's that meme from with Diddy and the guy from whatever with the stars when the guy's like this?
Oh yeah.
And then Diddy's just like so angry, like, yo, what are you on right now, my boy? He was so mad with him. I thought that was hilarious.
That's Dana White right now. That's just like he's not finding this funny at all. This is that was an interesting one. You know, I don't know. Look, I don't think anyone actually knows what exactly happened unless, you know, you talk to the managers themselves and you talk to the UFC. But that's one of those, like, it's interesting to see how contract negotiations kind of play out in public. I think that's always really interesting. And again, you kind of saw it the day before with Sean Brady. I know he pulled out of his fight with Vicente Luque, but he didn't really pull out of the fight because he was never in the fight.
Did you pull out if you were never in
That's
it?
what I'm saying. Like, that's like, I hate that the fans, like, again, like Yannick was saying, the fans are attacking this guy. Like, why was this fight announced? Like, this fight was never official. You know, you guys are, this guy's like, they're doing.
Can you pull out if you were never in it?
This guy,
oh man.
Nah, I feel. And again, it's the same thing for Poirier. People are shitting on Poirier, like, oh man, like this guy's ducking. This guy like never accepted the fight. Like, I don't even understand. Like, what are we criticizing this guy for? We're attacking the wrong organization here at the moment. But I don't want to. Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to attack anyone right now. But it just is what it is. Like, it's just annoying that people at the highest level even have to deal with something like this. Like, again, like Tom Brady's not going to be
maybe it was some contract negotiations that weren't yet finalized, and maybe now they're finalized. So, I mean, of course, I could speak on a little more detail of what that can be, but if I had a gun and I shot myself in the foot, that just would be so silly, you know? So I'm just not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that. But with that being said, yeah, I would say there's probably some of the contract stuff that needed to be sorted out, and maybe now it's finally officially sorted out. And it's a good fight, man. So regardless, I think this is a fun fight for the fans, but I think people need to understand that what goes on behind the scenes is a lot more work than people probably realize. It's not just, hey, they offer you a fight, you just sign a contract. There's other things at play, money, fight date, location. There's a whole bunch of other things and stuff that comes with it. And some people, of course, payday. You just never know, man. It's just a never-ending experience, I guess. That's, for lack of better words, that I could use for people to kind of understand. So I'm glad the fight's being made, though. I think this is a good winnable fight for Dustin, or a good coming-out party for Saint Denis. So Saint Denis, hey, it's not very often that these top 5 guys come out of the 55-pound division and fight backwards. So this is Saint Denis' opportunity of a lifetime to change his life. And this is Poirier's opportunity of a lifetime to stay in that title shot conversation. And if he can get a win over here against a surging prospect like Saint Denis, it puts him right back in the driver's seat and maybe 1 or 2 fights away from a title shot again, or just a right opportunity away. Because I would imagine Islam fights 1 or 2 more times, then he retires, and that could open up a spot for a vacant title situation if he retires with the belt. But of course, that depends on what happens with Gaethje and Holloway. Who's the other one? There was another one in that division. I mean Gamrot, but Gamrot's got a fight coming up. So there's no real clear-cut contender.
Oliveira and Sarukian, that's what it was.
Oliveira and Sarukian. So there's a couple of potential rematches on the horizon, so we'll see what actually opens up. So again, if Islam was to beat 1 or 2 of those guys, there's an opportunity that he possibly just retires, calls it a day, and says, I'm out. I'm going to be like my man's Khabib and go chill and get fat. Fat in a good way. Not like saying Khabib is like, oh, disgusting, but I know people go, why you call him fat brother? Khabib not fat brother. You disrespect Dagestan. Shut up, bro. I like Khabib. Why do people think that just because we say something we criticize, we gotta hate the guy? We don't hate the guy.
No,
He's a freaking OG.
No, you must speak about Khabib with only respect, or else everyone in Dagestan will hate you.
Hey, we have a saying in the States, when you retire, you get fat and happy. Khabib is retired and let me not call him fat. Let me say he's big and happy. How about that?
DC looks big and happy. There's a lot of guys that look big and happy. You know, you got to enjoy yourself after you're done. I think that's fair.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
100%.
But yeah, with that said, I'm looking forward to this fight with Saint Denis. We'll see what happens. It's nice when these guys in top 5. I got this ice cube in my mouth. When these guys actually fight outside the top 5, man, it's a very rare thing. So people should be happy and excited about this fight because you got Sharyukin trying to break in. You got Saint Denis trying to break in. Gamrot, I think he's right there on the cusp. And then who else? Is anybody else I'm thinking off the top? I mean, Dan Hooker's still right there because of a big win over Jalen Turner. Now, Jalen Turner, after beating Bobby Green, is back in the mix. I'm not saying they're next in line, but they're back in the mix.
55 is always stacked. 35 is always stacked. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. With that said, Jake, please make sure you look for a pause moment, break, and insert the John Anik clip because we need people to hear and get context with that. Other than that, guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon. We look forward to breaking down the next fight, Joe Pyfer versus Jack Hermanson. We'll see you guys later this week. Stay black. Stay Korean, stay black, stay American, baby. Let's go.